I want to welcome you back to another episode of the Book of Jake. I am Jake Abdullah. I believe this is episode number 25. My God, I've done 25 episodes. Today, the last week I've been lecturing a lot. I've been doing a lot of coaching, executive coaching. And one thing that is coming out more than often is the idea of being uncomfortable. So today we're diving into it's a very strong topic. It's close to my heart. Embracing discomfort and being uncomfortable as a catalyst to growth. So we'll explore how stepping out of your comfort zones can lead to, incredible growth. A lot of people think that they like to be comfortable because that's really easy. Like what Denzel Washington said is, thieves don't break into an empty house. So you have to be in that uncomfortable zone to grow in all aspects of life, especially even from work to relationships. And you're going through a breakup, and that's when you work your hardest to actually buy flowers and stuff. I hate to say it, but it's true. And from excelling in our careers to achieving athletic greatness. Most times, I hear friends who are going to get their do their appraisals and stuff. That 2 weeks leading to appraisals, they work really harder. So it's usually that, you have to be uncomfortable. But before that, guys, I need some help. Help me drive my message further. Everything I do is very positive. Do me a favor and subscribe and share, comment. And guys, have you done it? Please do it now, okay? And let's go. Okay, so to begin with, let's talk about what it means to be uncomfortable. What is uncomfortable? Uncomfortable is being in uncharted territories, perhaps. I give you an example of me when I first started learning this. I do martial arts, but I started learning this new form of Silat Sofian, and one of the master, Maul Moni, who had a seminar there. I went the first day and I said, my God, this is stuff. It was so uncomfortable that I just wanted to quit, but I didn't because I said, I've already paid the money. So that's the feeling of uncomfortable. It's a feeling of being uneasy, I guess, in a situation where you're facing the unknown, stepping into new territories you've never been to. You're not familiar. It's like driving to somewhere without ways, but you got to make it up as you go along, or pushing our boundaries. So, it's that people say butterflies in your stomach. It's the flutter of nerves before a big presentation. Even till today, I do a lot of talks. I do a lot of presentations. And I'm a bit uneasy, but, by the grace of God, because I practice and I practice and I practice, because I practice, I allow myself to be able to sort of mitigate that fear, So think about the tension in your chest before you are about to have a difficult conversation. So that is being uncomfortable. Sometimes it's like a guy who goes to the gym. It's, we use the word, hypertrophy, or, increase your weights every time. Put yourself in a difficult situation. Imagine if you're curling 10 kilos and for the rest of your life, you're curling 10 kilos. It's not going to improve the size of your body or your physical. You have to go up and beyond. It is tough. It is daunting, and in precisely these moments that we find our greatest opportunities of growth. Okay, so think about it. When we are comfortable, we're chilling, we're watching Netflix over and over. One episode becomes 5 episodes. We're eating ice cream. We're in a state of routine, doing things we are familiar with. We know we can handle. Nothing happens. There's really nothing inherently wrong with being comfortable, but there's a time and place for it. If you're on holiday, yes, go ahead, be comfortable, chill, get out and all that. But being uncomfortable can lead to stagnation. That means you are at status quo. You won't grow. You're just chill, and then you say, oh, why didn't I grow? Because you are so used to being comfortable. Sometimes people even draw back because they don't want to be seen. So they rather be comfortable. Growth, unfortunately, requires us to challenge ourselves. And most people do not want to do that. I'm closing into 60 next year. So, and I keep challenging myself. I keep learning new things. Every time that I try to be uncomfortable. It's not a place that I want to be, but I ask myself, I've got to practice what I preach. You need to step into situations where the outcome is uncertain, but calculated. And we might fall, but it's, it's called fast failing. So, you go in there, fail, you come up, you learn. What did I learn from this experience? Psychologists refer to it as comfort zone. all of us, I'm sure people say, get out of your comfort zone, get out of the comfort zone. But what they're actually talking about is it's a behavioral space where our activities and our behaviors fit into a routine. And most of us actually go through it. While routine is great if you have the discipline, if you're, I'll give you an example. If you're running 1 km in 8 minutes, and if you keep running 1 km in 8 minutes, your body adapts to it. So how do you actually go faster? You have to become uncomfortable, So this requires a new discipline or a new learning zone, I would say. So when we're exposed to new experience and challenges, the more we push ourselves into the learning zone, the more we expand. I'll tell you about a real life situation. So my condo, there's this guy called, this French guy called Florian. Florian, I hope you're listening to this. Marathon runner. Okay. So amazing guy. He does a kilometer in like 3 minutes and 45 seconds. He's like so fast, So, but because he has been running and running and running, his body has become more and more efficient, which means he's burning calories less and less. So for him to actually lose weight, suddenly he's got to put himself into a very uncomfortable situation, which is lifting weights. So amazing. And it actually worked. So sometimes we got to unlearn our old habits and learn new stuff. So again, another important thing is to distinguish between discomfort and distress. So let's talk about discomfort. Discomfort is about pushing boundaries in a healthy way. You're pushing boundaries and it gives you a very positive outcome. Unlike distress is when we, take on too much too quickly and feel overwhelmed. Like I want to lose 7 kilos in 1 week. And then we do it so fast and then we just give up. So that's causing you distress. Okay. So it can put you in a feeling of being overwhelmed. I know so many friends, I'm using weight. I shouldn't be, but most of them, I want to lose 15 kilos in 6 weeks and then it doesn't happen because it's too tough. So again, like I said, what you need to do is to do the research, the data and find out and plan it. The goal is to find a balance where we are consistently challenging ourselves. I do it all the time. I do sometimes, draw back and get a bit lazy, but I got this check and balances, which I do every night and says, did I actually need to do it? And you find a balance where you don't burn out also. Now, how does it help personal and professional growth? Like I go to the gym quite a bit. It's pretty obvious, right? So one person I really like is a guy called Ben Francis. You might not know of him, but he's got this clothing line called Gymshark. He's the founder of Gymshark. He started Gymshark in his parents' garage. Probably no money, balancing his studies part-time. He was working in Pizza Hut and doing some kind of odd job. Initially, of course, it was very tough. He faced so many challenges. How do I do this? But he stuck to what he wanted to do. He studied the market. Despite all these hurdles, Ben embraced discomfort. In my book, in the book of Jake, I said, embrace the suck. You've got to suck at it and, it's so bad, So he invested his time and effort learning everything from screen printing, his first batch, to website design. He didn't have a background in business or no business acumen, but he was passionate about fitness and wanted to create a brand that was, people like me who are gym rats love. He spent hours doing R&D all through his garage, Cut a long story short, Ben's worth probably now $1 billion. $1 billion just because he embraced the discomfort, embraced the suck, embraced every possible thing. And a guy who is working in Pizza Hut is worth $1 billion. Amazing story. Last week I was reading about how he's even changing the ethos of his company, where he's focusing on just being, on workouts and gym stuff. Really amazing. Another person that I really like is, if you've got Netflix, check out this guy check out this documentary called 14 Peaks. It's about Nirmal Pooja, a former Gurkha. This guy is just amazing. So there are certain peaks that are above 7,000 kilometers and the 14 peaks. And the last time somebody did it took like 6 years. Nirmal did it in 6 months. And I like his motto, because his motto is like, nothing is impossible, like Adidas, or Adidas impossible is nothing, but this is nothing is impossible. he showcases how he conquered 14 peaks above 7,000 meters in just 6 months. And it was not easy because we were talking about Everest and the highest peaks in Pakistan, in India and all that. But he did it, There were some times where the weather conditions were treacherous. There were sometimes, I remember China didn't give him the right, he didn't get the permission to climb, but he managed it because, he put on some pressure through social, and each climb presented its own set of trials and tribulations. But when I saw that, I said, there's a different state of mind. He has built that state of mind. So it is not impossible. When you look at him, he looks like a decent guy, but 14 peaks in 6 months is unheard of. You have to watch the documentary. It's called 14 Peaks on Netflix. If you talk about athletics, I don't know whether you heard of Michael Phelps. It's probably the most celebrated Olympic since we're in Olympic season. He was a swimmer, multiple, Olympic medals. I can't remember. It's 12 or 14 or something like that. But the story of Michael Phelps is actually quite extraordinary because he suffered from ADHD, family problems, and he said that, and he never missed a day of training for so many years. He said he hated it, but because he embraced the uncomfortable part of it, he's now a world champion. Serena Williams, same thing, no money, parents. You can find that what happens is when you develop the ability to go past being uncomfortable, you win. Muhammad Ali is another, I adore the late Muhammad Ali, one of the greatest boxers of all time. He says, I hated every minute of training, but I said, don't quit, because suffer now and the rest of life, you'll become a champion. Ali was amazing, So he became world champion many, many times. So again, I said, what is a common trait that is similar to all this? These people are different. Why? They have different mindset. They are willing to be uncomfortable to enjoy delayed gratification. In relationships, like I said earlier, it's the same thing, if you've been in a relationship, you should know that, when things get rocky and all that, then you pull out the nice baju and the roses and you're going on better dates and stuff. Why you wait until that? So it is the same thing. We dig deep. During turbulent times, Michelle and Barack Obama, their relationship had faced the scrutiny of public, and pressures of high profile, but it's probably one of the most successful couples I know of. So before I leave you, I'll leave you with a couple of tips. How can we embrace discomfort? Easier said than done. I know you're saying, Jake, you're talking so much about what does it mean? One, set challenging goals, but be realistic. Push yourself to set goals. Without goals, you're just shooting in the wind, okay? This will encourage you to stretch your abilities as you reach the goals. Classic example is I use gym work usually as an analogy. If you can bench press maybe 50 kilos, go for 52.5 next time. And as you keep doing it, you will improve. Okay. Another thing that you should do is seek feedback. Ask people for honest feedback from others. It can be constructive. Most people are afraid of constructive criticism, but I think it's a gift. If somebody can give me without being emotional how I can improve, I will improve, okay? Take risks. Don't be afraid of taking calculated risks. What happens if this doesn't happen? And write it down. And fail fast also. That means you can be starting out as a new hobby and then you keep adding to it. And that don't take failure as failure. Failure to me is a learning process. There is no victory without failure. Every failure that I have has contributed to all my successes. Write down what you have learned from your failure, So my personal route to discomfort begins with my discipline. I get up at 5:30 in the morning, sometimes 5:15. I hate getting up early, but I do because, I have to do my prayers. I take a cold shower every morning and I hate it, because it wakes me up. I know I have a heater, but I said, this is going to improve my attentiveness. So I get in the shower. The first 2 minutes is so hard. After that, it's okay. I know it's great for my body. I work out every day. I'm learning something new. I'm learning a new martial art. I like Silat, so I'm learning a new martial art, a new Silat at the age of 59. So my thoughts for you, yes, be comfortable. Nothing really spectacular happens in the comfortable state. Be uncomfortable as possible, get out of the comfort zone, even diet. I'm now on a diet that is, people say you're mad, I'm just eating meat and it's almost ketogenic, but it's, and just to improve myself. By default, with this mindset, I guarantee you'll be better than 90% of the people in the world if you can embrace this. So, what can you take out of this? Step out of your comfort zone. You never learn things being comfortable. Like I said, if you're binge watching Netflix every day or Amazon Prime or Apple TV or what, I'm not saying it's bad, but if you can take that 45 minutes and use it to improve your life, probably in 365 days, you would have grown much better at something, okay? You cop out an easy way actually to, you start off with bodacious goals and then you just give up because it becomes too hard. It becomes uncomfortable. So stop it. So my advice to you is, guys, start being uncomfortable. If you need any advice, please reach out to me. Also, to wrap up, remember, growth doesn't happen in the comfort zone. It happens when we embrace challenges, push through the discomfort. You come out stronger on the other side anyway. So this is Jake saying, guys, thank you for allowing me to share with you my thoughts on being uncomfortable. If you want to buy the Book of Jake, it's at www.bookofjake.my. Please like, please share. If you want me to address any other thoughts, you can email me also at jakeabdullah@yahoo.com. If you enjoyed this episode, please don't forget to subscribe, rate, leave a review, share it with everybody. I will see you next week. Take care.